Hello there, I'm Jerry, and today I'll be talking about the pros and cons of living in Texas. I hope to make a tone where I'm calm and informed, and hopefully a little bit like entertaining. So let's start off with the pros. I think pro number one is affordable costs. Usually buying food is pretty cheap. Like when you go to McDonald's, when you go to the fast food places, when you go to a restaurant, it's cheaper than the national average. I think groceries have gotten more expensive though. It's something to look out for, but generally the affordable cost, especially compared to the rest of the country, especially in housing and rental stuff. And that's pretty good. You go to West Coast, you go to the East Coast. The cost of houses are like double or triple than what it costs in Texas. And I know that the West Coast and East Coast that they pay you more, but like they usually don't pay you double or triple what they pay you in Texas. So it's something to consider. That's why I think Texas has pretty good affordable costs. The second pro is that there's multiple big cities to choose from. I don't think too many states have this. So we have multiple big cities in Texas. Number one, we have Austin. Austin's pretty good. Um, a lot of things going on, a lot of conferences, a lot of jobs. There's a whole tech boom, and there's different industries in Austin, and there's a lot of like music events, and there's a lot of like social scene in Austin. Obviously, there's also Dallas too. Dallas is a large city. Dallas is a little more family friendly, a lot more, maybe a little more. It's more affordable than Austin. It's pretty good. Um, Less entertainment, but still pretty good. Houston is also another big city to choose from. I've been there several times. It can be a little chaotic, but Houston's a great city. Affordable cost. There's a lot of things you can do in Houston. And there's also San Antonio too. San Antonio's pretty good. It's a large city. Things to do. They have the Spurs. All of the other cities too. Also have NBA teams and like professional football, and they have professional sports teams. So multiple big cities to choose from. That's a pro in my eyes. So let's see. Another pro is there's lots of people to talk to in Texas. So you can make a lot of friends. There's a lot of people to talk to whenever you go to high school, whenever you go to university. There's always like a lot of people you can talk to. Um, I know some people that it might be more of a con, but I really like the whole having a lot of people you can talk to. It also means that there's like economic activity too. Like some states in the U.S. can be kind of small, so there's not much of an economy or just an economy that's too focused on one small thing. But Texas, a lot of people to talk to, and it can be pretty fun. Let's see. The fourth and last pro is the family friendly culture. So Texas does have a family friendly culture. I think, you know, I think all family friendly culture is something you can probably find in all states in some way. But I think Texas across the state, we see people really valuing family, cherishing children, and really looking forward to being parents, and really accommodating towards children in the large cities. That's pretty good. So you see a lot of like family restaurants, a lot of family things you can do, which is pretty good. Um, and also the whole affordability is part of the whole family friendly culture, in my opinion. If things are not affordable, then you can't really have family friendly culture, family friendly activities. So the affordable things you can do, and just an embracement of family friendly stuff. You don't have to have kids or anything. People in the 20s, people of all ages, you just appreciate families and just have fun. Okay, now moving on to the cons. So the cons, I guess the first con is the heat, the temperature. It's very hot. It's not hot all the time. I guess it's like it's hot like 9 months out of the year. I guess winter is when it's not hot. But generally, the heat is pretty bad. It's very dry. I've heard people in Arizona say it's worse in Arizona, but I just live in a more hot area of Texas than most of Texas. It's always pretty bad. The heat gets to you. You need sunscreen. If you don't get sunscreen, your skin will feel it at some point. So the heat can be pretty annoying. It can make it hard to go outside that much. You feel like you're always like homebody, even when you don't want to be a homebody. So it's a challenge. The second con, it's also about the weather, I guess. Not not very creative. It's the it's the lack of rain and hurricanes. So the lack of rain and hurricanes. Um, it's kind of like two things. It doesn't really rain that much, so we have trees and we have grass, but like it's not always like green. A lot of times it's kind of like a yellowish green. Well, it's literally just yellow. There's not much color to when you're like driving around or trying to see the outdoors. So yeah, and then there's hurricanes. The hurricanes because the whole Gulf is right next to Texas and the ocean, of course. So then the hurricanes can get kind of annoying, especially some hurricanes can cause a lot of like rain and they cause a lot of damage, especially like around Houston, southern and central Texas. It can get very chaotic, and a lot of people a lot of people's homes can be damaged, cars can be damaged, and that's something that's kind of annoying. Like it's an unfortunate thing that affects people in Texas. Okay, the third con of living in Texas is the traffic. I think it's pretty obvious when it's like a very large state in terms of population that there's a lot of traffic. There's a lot of traffic. There's always cars on the road. Like morning, lunch, dinner. Like those are not three times. Those, but you know what I mean. Like in the morning, in the afternoon, and like and like at night. There's always a good deal of traffic. Obviously, it peaks around the rush hours, around like 4 to 6 p.m. and 7 to 9 a.m. But there's so many people. It's not always easy to be driving somewhere. Then there's somewhere that's even though you're going to a place that's not that far. So traffic, yeah, they get pretty bad. I wish there were like trains or something, or some form of like intercity trains, maybe. There's like regional trains, like a train within a city to get you around. That'd be pretty nice. But I think that there's probably like technically some trains that do exist, but they're not really trains. They're kind of more like a very small public transportation system that only goes like in a few like rigid corridors. So yeah, the traffic that's one of the cons of living in Texas. Okay, so those were the pros and cons. Let me summarize them again. The pros: affordable cost, multiple big cities to choose from, lots of people to talk to, and family friendly culture. And then for the cons, number one, the heat. Number two, the lack of rain and hurricanes. And three, the traffic. So that's my opinion. I think Texas is still a pretty good state. It's just not a state that's meant for everyone. It might not be the best fit. Other states probably have a better fit. So just something to consider. The overall, I would say I'm pretty happy living in Texas. Okay. I think that's all the points I had to say in this video. Okay, that's everything for me. Hope you stay safe or something. I don't know. Goodbye.